Alexander, would you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Alexander, you have the right to an attorney. You are represented by Mr. Watson. And Mr. Watson, is this then a plea right to the charge?
It's my understanding, yes, Your Honor, and then there's a Killebrew agreement.
Sure, we'll get to that. Ms. Allen, would you read the charge, please?
In the People of the State of Michigan versus John Alexander, file 20-582-FH, State of Michigan, County of Ingham. In the name of the people of the State of Michigan, the prosecuting attorney for this county appears before the court and informs the court that on or about October 28th, 2019 through October 30th, 2019, at 2208 East Michigan Avenue, City of Lansing, Ingham County, the defendant did in count one use a financial transaction device, knowing the device to have been obtained or held under circumstances prescribed under MCL 750.157N, contrary to Michigan law. This is a felony punishable by up to 4 years and or $5,000 and was committed against the peace and dignity of the state of Michigan.
Mr. Alexander, you're being charged here with illegal use of a financial transaction device. That is a felony punishable by up to 4 years in prison. Have you had enough, pardon me, have you had enough time to talk about this charge with your attorney?
Yes.
Do you understand the charge against you?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about what we're doing?
No, ma'am.
How do you want to plead?
As guilty.
If your plea of guilty is accepted by this court, it means you won't have a trial of any kind and you'll be giving up the rights that go along with the trial. I have an advice of rights form here with your name on it and address. Did you sign that?
Yes.
And did you go over the rights with your lawyer?
Yes.
So you do understand that that form lists the rights that go along with a trial, and those are the rights you give up when you plead guilty.
Yes.
And that's what you want to do?
Yes.
Also, if I accept your plea, it means you can't come back later on and try to say that the plea was the result of some promise or threat that no one told me about today. Do you understand that?
Yes.
It also means you cannot come back later on and try to claim that it really wasn't your own choice to plead guilty today. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Is there a plea agreement, Ms. Allen?
There is, Your Honor. In exchange for the defendant's successful plea and sentence to count one in this file 20-582-FH, the people agreed to dismiss his other file in full, which is 20-452-FH. We also have no objection to him receiving treatment under the Holmes Youthful Trainee Act. And pursuant to People v. Killebrew, there is a sentence agreement that the defendant receives no upfront jail.
And Mr. Watson, is that a full and complete statement?
Yes, it is.
Mr. Alexander, is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes.
Do you agree with it?
Yes.
There's a part of this I have to go over with you. That's the agreement about your sentence. It's that you would receive no upfront jail. If for some reason I decided not to go along with that, I would tell you before I sentenced you, and I'd give you a chance, if you wanted to take back this whole plea and start over. You got all that?
Yes.
Has anyone promised you anything else that hasn't been said here right now in order to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Has anyone used any threats?
No.
Is it your own choice to plead guilty?
Yes.
And are you doing it because you believe you are in fact guilty of this offense?
Yes.
Okay, then tell me what you did between the dates of October 28, 2019 and October 30, 2019.
I went into a store and used a financial device or a credit card that didn't belong to me.
Okay, did you have any permission to use it?
No.
Okay, so it didn't belong to you, you had no permission, and when you say you used it, did you actually try to buy something with it?
Yes.
Okay, and did that happen at 2208 East Michigan Avenue in Lansing, Ingham County?
Yes.
And besides using it, did you have any permission to even have it in your possession?
No.
Okay. Has the court complied with MCR 6.302, Ms. Allen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Watson?
I believe it has, Your Honor. Thank you.
Are you aware of any promises, threats, or inducements other than those already placed on the record, Ms. Allen?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Watson?
No, there are none. Thank you.
The court finds the plea is understandingly and voluntarily made without undue influence, threats, or promises of leniency. It is an accurate plea. It's supported by the testimony. The plea is accepted. And I have a sentencing date of Monday, November 16 at 4:15. If you can do that, Mr. Watson?
I'll make that work, Your Honor. If I understand correctly, Your Honor will want a written Youthful Trainee Act petition. Is that correct?
Yes. It doesn't have to be elaborate, just something for the court file.
I'll make sure that that's taken care of. And we're talking November 16th at 4:15 PM. Is that correct?
That's right. So, Mr. Alexander, that's your sentencing date. If you agree to it, I am fine with doing that sentencing the same way we did this plea instead of having you come into the courthouse. I'll need you to verify that through your attorney at least. And you'll also need to know that the probation department has to do an interview with you. They have to do it soon because they have to do it in plenty of time in advance of that sentencing date so that they can prepare a report that I'll use for sentencing. So if they don't contact you in the next day or two, let Mr. Watson help you contact them and set up the interview. Mr. Watson, do you know if your client's okay with a remote sentencing?
I'll ask him now. Mr. Alexander, you heard what the judge asked. Is it all right by you if the
Yes.
sentence occurs the same way as today's hearing,
Yes.
remotely?
Okay. Very good, thank you. Your bond is continued. I'll just ask you to confirm that again at the sentencing, that it's okay to do it remotely. But thank you for that, and that will conclude your hearing.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Mr. Alexander, you're free to leave the building. Oh, and I'll speak with you downstairs about getting a hold of the pretrial services division. I'm sorry, the probation department downstairs.
Probation.